Welcome to the Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian, and behind me I have the all-new Subaru Solterra. Yes, this is shared with a partnership with Toyota. They're not competitors, they are partners. And Toyota has the BZ4X, which is basically a carbon copy of this. And the biggest difference is going to be the emblem on the front and the steering wheel, and these panels are matte on the Subaru, they're gloss on the Toyota. It's a gloss metallic gray on Toyota, and it's matte on the Subaru. Kind of gives you the more rugged, outdoorsy look and feel. Now, look at the floor right here. You can tell what Subaru's going for. Outdoorsy matters. And yes, that means that all-wheel drive is an option on this. Now, it's gonna be late availability. What we're being told from Toyota on their side is that the BZ4X will be available early summer this year. We expect this to be the same. Now, the range. In front-wheel drive form, you're expected to have 250 miles of range. And the biggest news here is a 100% charge in an hour and 20 minutes. An 80% charge in an hour. That's incredibly fast. If that rings out to be true in real use, we're excited about that. Usually EVs go to 80 very quickly and trickle to 100. So we're hoping that rings out true in users' applications. Now, we do have the EV port in the front. Traditional stuff, if you know EVs, you know this. You've got your 110 or your 220 plugs right here. It is in the front so that when you come to park at the charging station, whether in your garage or at a public charging station, you can pull in instead of having to back in. Some manufacturers put it in the back, we're not sure why. I'm sure it's for packaging, not the case here. The front wheel drive unit has an engine in the front, and let's check under the hood. And the motor is right here. Now, we don't have ratings on this in front of us, but if we can find it, we'll throw it on the screen so you can see it later. And you can tell there is not a frunk. That is the downside of this. There's a lot of motor and a lot of charging. There's also your traditional 12-volt battery here. But if you wanted to shove something right here, you might be able to get away with it. There's a little pocket there. If you want to be wild and block up your cooling, go for it. Now, something I want to point out in good Subaru fashion is you have heated wipers in the windshield right here. That doesn't matter to a lot of people, but if you deal with ice, man, that is nice. And you're not losing the Subaru traits because you're going EV. Now, let's go around the back and check out the hatch. Coming to the back, again, it's similar to the BZ4X, except right here, it's a little bit different. You can tell there's some stars. I do like that the spoiler is smaller here than the BZ4X. You'll notice in the BZ4X, it comes out further. This one is lower profile, and you see that there's a low point in the middle, high point in the sides. We're sure that's for aerodynamic efficiency. There's been a lot of attention paid on that because obviously range will matter with how slippery it is to the air. One thing with an EV, you'll notice that there are no tailpipes, but in good Subaru fashion, everything's cladded down low. So if you get rocks bouncing up, you drive on dirt roads, you're not gonna have paint chips. That's actually really nice. Some people don't like cladding. For this application, it makes a lot of sense. You've got another one here, Fender Flare here is a matte piece. The beauty is, if you scratch it like this, you can pop this thing off, put a new one on. There's no paint shop involved. That's very nice. Now, come take a peek at the back seat. This one's spec'd with cloth interior. There is a bunch of room in here. A lot of leg room. You've got rear AC vents in the bottom, USB-C ports for your kids in the back, and a center armrest. Some cars in this segment don't give you that. That's actually nice if you're doing a longer drive. Up front, one of my favorite features is the floating console with a phone charger in the middle, right there, and storage space. And then also there's fabric on the dash, which is really, really neat. It warms the interior space up a lot. We love that. Also, you'll notice that the cluster, there's not a heads-up display in this car. That's because they put the cluster right on the windshield far out, and that brings the screens up high and in the driver's line of sight. And the whole point behind that is driver safety. So with that covered, thank you for watching. We'll drop in more info on this when we get to drive this. We can't drive it yet today. It's not actually available. So enjoy what you've seen here. Stay tuned for more content from the North Texas Auto Show.